Well. Funny seeing you here. Good morning, West Ham fans. Let's hope it's not a Greek tragedy with Tim's latest scouting mission. Yes, everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe and well. Happy Tuesday. Obviously, we're on the way to Leverkusen. We'll be having plenty of video content leading up to our crucial first leg Europa League quarter-final against the potential Bundesliga champions. They could well be have won the Bundesliga by the time they come to London Stadium next Thursday. But we'll have some stuff from those travelling to Leverkusen to give you some atmosphere of what it's like over there with the travelling West Ham Brigade, as well as I think we've got Alex's first preview. A lot of information, a lot of stats, a lot of all you need to know about Leverkusen by Leverkusen. Sort of a short, sharp preview. That'll be coming up shortly as well. And we're coming into that sort of period now where, there's directors of football everywhere, in terms of putting together their transfer strategies for the summer. And I know every time I talk about transfers, they'll say, oh, it's all right, but boys won't play them. Right, get it out of your head. Get this out of your head for the summer, right? Next season, whoever is in the dugout is not going to be a manager. They are going to be a head coach. Their job is to coach the team. The strategy, the recruitment is led by Tim Steinton. All right? The head coach will not have a veto. Moyes has a veto now. He will not have a veto. If he does sign the team and becomes head coach next year, he will have to Tim's way of the highway. You see how sides like Bayern Munich can easily get rid of people like Thomas Tuchel and people like that because it's set up in a different way. It's based on KPIs. It's based on relationship building with the director of football. And so what we're doing now is we're basically doing a lot of scouting, it seems. A lot of scouting. And we've spoken about Greek players before. I think Anton did a show last week about the AZ Alkmaar striker, Veligris Pavlidis. We've also been linked to the Panathinaikos striker, Ifafotunus. And apparently, the Greek league is one of Tim's sort of secret leagues. It's not that secret. Most other sides are looking at it as well. But rather than necessarily going out and spending a lot of money recruiting players in from the top five leagues, we know that Tim likes to pearl dive. Yes, we know we're going to have to look at the homegrown and academy quotas for that. But in terms of getting those pearls in terms of improving the squad depth, which is vastly needed after the last few games, it's quite clear we've probably about 13 or 14 players who are probably first teamers and the rest are fillers, unfortunately, it seems. And we can debate whose fault that is. But I'm not talking about that now. What I'm talking about is the scouting missions. And on Sunday, according to Sport Time, West Ham were in Greece watching the top-of-the-table clash between AEK and PAOK, or AEK Athens and PAOK. But that's how you pronounce it properly, AEK and PAOK. In a 2-2 draw at Athens. And we were watching a number of players, according to the article in Sport Time. We weren't alone. There was many other scouts from other clubs, such as AC Milan, Villarreal, Brentford, Fiorentina, Villarreal. I don't know if I've seen them already. But there was about a dozen or so scouts watching this particular game. And the players that we were apparently being linked to probably give us an idea in terms of the types of players we're going to be recruiting in the summer in terms of positions. They pretty much cover the full gamut of positions we're looking at. So we're going to go through them so you know what the types of the players we were looking at, because you never know, they might crop up. At a later date. So firstly, from the AEK side was this man, Damian Sklizmansky, the Polish international midfielder. He has He's been at Athens for four or 5 seasons now. Midfielder, 6'1", 28, maybe a Thomas Suchek replacement, or maybe someone who come in as a replacement when Edson Alvarez maybe is suspended. He is a Polish international. He's got about 15, 20 caps for Poland since his first game back in 2018, something like that. So he was one who was being scouted. Also, this gentleman, you know him well. Uh, Lazarus Rota. He is a Greek international. He's got about 14 caps. So he will be very aware of our Greek colossus, Konstantinos Mavropanos, particularly as Rota is a right back. He's 26-year-old right back. He spent some times in the Dutch league before moving to Ike back in 2021. So again, we've looked as a central midfielder, sort of CDM, a right back we've been linked with, a right back who's already got an understanding with Dinos as well. We've also been linked with this gentleman, Harold Mukodi, the Cameroon international, played at the AFCONs recently. 6'3", big unit of a man, 26 as well. Great age. Spent his time in League A before a short loan spell in Middlesbrough for half a dozen games or so before moving to Ike in 2022. Cameroon international, got about 15 or so caps to his name, but previously he represented France in the under 16s, 17s, 18s, and under 20 football. Elsewhere, we have got the former, I'd say he's a former wonder kid, Giannis Konstantelis. I say former because previously he was quoted as being a wonder kid with the likes of Man City and Arsenal looking at him. But he was 19 at the time. Now he's just over 20 to almost 21. Does that count as being a wonder kid now? Can play as a forward, can play as a midfielder as well. Could potentially be some sort of cheaper replacement for a Paqueta. I'm not saying cheap as in, he's so cheap, but I'm saying as an alternative for maybe getting someone as a bit high profile and then getting someone like Giannis on who could help improve our squad level potentially. Reminds me a bit of George Earthy, really. So whether that's, I don't know. I mean, he's valued around sort of 10 to 15 million pounds. He was a Greek, and he was called up to the full Greek squad recently, I believe. But he was under 21s Greek international. Elsewhere, this guy as well, another Konstantinos Kourakis, a centre back, left-sided centre back. He spent all his time at PAOK. He's a Greek international as well, got about half a dozen caps to his name, as well as representing Greece under 16s, 17s, and 19s. So could be a decent replacement in terms of that squad. He's 20, so he's a young lad, and he's a big unit as well, over 6 foot. And could be a useful addition to our central defence hub. So you have, Mavropanos and you have Kourakis, and maybe Azuma and one more. He could add to that group, and being left-sided, very useful addition. And 20, no age to him as well. And also, as I said, he's already a full international for Greece as well, and with no Dinos. And the goalkeeper for PAOK we were looking at as well, apparently, Dominique Kotoreski. He is a Croatian international, made his debut for Croatia, the full national side, last week in the recent internationals. He's played for Dinamo Zagreb, Ajax, 18K Gronka before moving to PAOK in July 2022. He's 24, over 6 foot, big lad. And you could see, although we are looking obviously at giving someone like Fabianski an additional 1 year to his contract. There's nothing if we can get a decent price for him, there's nothing to say you can't buy him and loan him back to Palka for the next season. And then the following season, bring him in. He's only 24 now, so you can get him back at 26. Have a few more international appearances under his belt and some more games for Palka as well. So it's really the team players have been linked with a couple of centre halves, a CDM, a right back, a striker or a forward player, and a goalkeeper. Maybe, for me, that pretty much is the areas we need to strengthen, I think, this coming summer. And maybe not all of them come to West Ham, but maybe a couple of Greeks. I think the right back Rota is an interesting player as well. In terms of Giannis as well, I mean, he is a very skillful player. However, I don't know if he's going to be the right fit for the Premier League. I would like to see George Earthy given a run, but then again, I would like to see George Earthy maybe go out on loan next summer just to get a bit more game time, a bit more bulk up a little bit. I think he'll be pushed around quite a bit physically when he plays league football. Yeah, interesting. But as I said, we're doing these scouting missions all the time. We are sending out all our coaches out on. I know they're on recruitment. They're recruiting. They're looking at people who are potential first teamers. They're looking at recruitment to the academy as well and bringing in youngsters to improve the academy we can bring through. And obviously, once they've signed for the academy, if they stay for the academy for 3 years, they become homegrown. As long as you buy them before they're 21 and they're in there for 3 years before they turn 21, they become homegrown. So actually buying youngsters is another way to improve the homegrown quota and also the academy quota as well. I'm not too sure about the definition of the academy, but the homegrown is you have to be 3 years before the age of 21 to count. There's a whole bunch of free transfers as well we've been linked with as well. But I just thought it's quite interesting how it was like one match and there was half a dozen players we were looking at apparently. So we shall see. Anyway, keep an eye on the channel. We'll have loads of content coming up today. As per usual, we'll keep you entertained. And until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and come on, you bloody irons. Oh!